This year, I found myself watching sports more than ever before, and I feel like this is universally true. With basketball and the New York Knicks championship, and soccer or football and the World Cup. One month, I'm standing in a crowded street in New York watching Knicks fans celebrate a historic playoff that's been decades in the making. The next, I'm sitting in a Yemeni coffee shop surrounded by people from so many different countries, all eyes glued to the World Cup. And the more sports I watched and the more I was looking around, I started wondering, why do different sports feel different? Not just the games themselves, but the people who watch them, where they're popular in the world. The answer might have less to do with the game itself and where the game geographically or anthropologically came from. And while yes, sports do create community, communities also create sport. Let's look at soccer for an example. Modern soccer emerged from 19th century industrial Britain. It required almost no equipment. A ball, an open space, and a few friends was enough. As the British Empire expanded across the globe, so did the sport. Sailors played it in ports, workers played it in factories, students played it in schools. By the early 20th century, soccer had become a truly global language. That's part of why watching the World Cup feels so global and different than any other sport. You're watching a sport that was carried across continents through empire, trade, migration, and globalization. Now, let's compare that to basketball. Basketball was invented in 1891 by a man named James Naismith. He was looking for a game that could be played indoors during the winter. Unlike soccer or football, basketball didn't require a very big space. That made it perfect for growing cities and urban environments. Throughout the 20th century, basketball flourished in urban neighborhoods, school gyms, and public parks. In cities like New York, Chicago, and Philadelphia, it became woven into everyday life. And because it grew in dense urban environments, basketball culture expanded to beyond the court itself, into fashion, music, language, and everyday popular culture. And then there's American football. American football wasn't invented by a single person overnight. Instead, it evolved organically from English sports like soccer and rugby. The transition from a chaotic mob-style game to the modern football that we see today actually happened on college campuses over the span of several decades through a series of rule changes. The first ever intercollegiate football game was played on November 6, 1869, between Rutgers and Princeton. Football emerged largely through schools and universities in the United States. It required large space, specialized equipment, and institutional support that was provided by universities. And that history still echoes to today. Many of the sports traditions revolve around high schools, universities, hometown pride, and regional identity. And it's interesting to juxtapose these three different sports with three very different identities, audiences, and locations where they're played. It's easy to think that sports are just games. But when you look closely, there are also stories about cities, migration, technology, class, and community. I'm Ridha with Independent Lens, connecting the dots between culture, history, and the world around me.